Good morning. I'm Bill Zortman, and welcome to It's Your Business, the Report Card Show. Each month, on either the first or second Monday of the month, we bring together the president of the Home Builders Association, president of the Real Estate Association, a mortgage banker, most times, Brent Adney, statewide, and Tony Bachman. This guy has been on the road, learning a lot of things. Between him and Brent Adney and this guy named Kelly, I didn't have any more paper left. All the trends that we're seeing and the immediacy that you guys are going to share with us today is unbelievable.
Well, I think what the thing is here is when we're talking about this market with the rising interest rates, and there's a certain level of uncertainty. And so what we're trying to do is be very proactive with the conversation to try to quell some of this uncertainty that's out there. And I think, and rightfully so, I think it's good for people to ask these questions, but we have been trying to, answer these questions in a very constructive and analytical way, so it makes sense for people that are out there currently looking or, to buy or to sell.
And from your side, what are you seeing on the street?
We're seeing a lot of activity, a lot of movement, and people ready to buy and people benefiting from selling.
Are you finding some real questions out there with all we're going to hear this morning and have come up in the last 7 days on interest rates?
Certainly. People do have that fear, as Tony said, of is this the right time to sell or is this the right time to buy given interest rates? But we know that there is great value right now in moving ahead. You don't want to delay when you buy. Go for it now because we know that things might shift in the future.
5%. Is a number that we're hearing now. We were used to 3.4, even less.
Yep.
Where are we?
Yeah, we're actually I just got a text message from Mr. Dave Kelly, and he said that they're right in between about 5.2 to 5.4% right now for rates. And I'll let Dave kind of tell you where he thinks it goes. But of course, the economists, the people that are doing the prognosticating of where this is all going, is they anticipate rates will continue to rise, but very gradually. And it's not going to be uncommon for potentially in 2023 to see 6%. But, again, the Federal Reserve is doing their best to try to just tamp down, because it's not only rising interest rates that are part of the question and that's creating uncertainty, it's the fact of inflation. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to kind of slow down the pace at what prices, the rising costs or the price of homes at this point. But when it comes to the whole thing with interest rates, the bubble, we kind of talked about this in the past. There is no bubble, and we are not going to see any lowering of home prices at this point. Potentially, as things go on, we may see a little bit of a slowing down. But right now, we're talking about appreciation rates still. I did a quick stat from December of 2021 till now, and we're at about 12%. 11.5 or 12% of appreciation of prices of the median price point from then till now. That's only 4 months, So yeah, we're still on a tear when it comes to what's happening. Again, Anne, I'll let you. Why is that, Anne?
Why is that?
The inventory.
There's supply and demand.
Yeah,
we have
exactly.
People who can qualify, and we're going to have new numbers from Brent Adney this morning at 9:32 that Dave Kelly was waiting for. And if Dave Kelly's waiting for him, the audience is going to wow, this is breaking news.
Yeah.
Right.
You're 100% right, because we talk about supply and demand all the time.
Yep.
And the fact that and one of the stats that we had looked at was when they're talking about the number of showings that are happening currently on the marketplace, they're exceeding, the number of showings for homes are exceeding anything that's happened last year or the year before.
Right.
And probably if you go back like 4 or 5 years, it's double the number of showings. So, therein tells you that we have such a strong buyer's market that when someone says, I just think the prices are too high, I think interest rates, we're going to see a bubble, I'm going to wait, I'm going to sit on the sidelines. Okay, and I've had this conversation before. I had this conversation back in 2018. If we take a look at 2018 numbers compared to today's numbers, the people that actually purchased a home in 2018 actually had a 52% increase, an approximate 50% increase in their value of their home. So home ownership is the best way to hedge against inflation.
And one of the things, having looked at the notes 14 times as they came in this morning, I was seeing that age is a big deal as far as those needing to be able to stay in a home right now, particularly if they were to move out, where they're going to go, what are they going to find, what's it going to cost them, and there is some protection staying in your home as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's so, in our conversations with people that are listing, I mean, that's kind of the thing that it's a little bit more of a deliberate conversation.
I think it's a very deliberate conversation because for some, it might be better to stay in their own home, but some might be at that position where, you know what, we have a lot of building going on. This might be the time for them to upgrade to, say, a ranch if they're getting a little farther along in age and they don't want the upkeep of their home that's currently a 2-story or multi-level or something like that. This might be the best time for them to move into something that's more suitable to the last stage of life, you know, to have that home ownership all the way to the end. On the other hand, we have some great places in Sioux Falls. If they're looking to have that mobility of, I want to be here 6 months out of the year and I don't want to take care of my home, I want to go down south for part of the year, well, then this might be the best time for them to let go of that home that they have here.
Why don't you take 2 minutes and give them some of these numbers that
Absolutely.
You shared out of your newsletter, comparing the listings, the closed sales, days on the market, median price, average price, all jump out at you.
This is the monthly indicator report, so I guess we'll cover some of those. we were trying to address the uncertainty in the market with the interest rates, but I know that they'll be covered later too with Brett and Dave Kelly. New listings were down 9.4%. And whenever we talk about this, we're always comparing April 2022 compared to the numbers of April 2021. Closed sales were also down 13.8%. That's not a reflection of people not wanting to buy. That's a reflection of no inventory for people. Lack of inventory, less inventory, low inventory, that sort of thing. Days on market. Again, they're moving fast. I mean, days on market went down 17.5%. We're now at 71 days on average, days on market. And then median sales price is up 17.6% to $292,500 from $248,800 last year. Now, I'll also throw one other stat in here because I threw that 2018 number out there. The average sales price for 2018 was $203,601. So then that also reinforces the fact of what I was talking about, approximately a 50% increase in median sales price since 2018 to now. The percent of original list price received is up 1.8% from last year. We're at 102.3%. So on average, across the board, with everything that's being received out there in the marketplace, if they have a home listed at $300,000, they're getting on average somewhere close to 310, you know. And then affordability index, that took a big hit this month. It went down 33.1% because of the rising interest rates and because of rising prices.
Supply and demand.
Correct.
Again.
Correct. So then the inventory homes were down 40%. So, you know, again, we're just talking 40% from last year. Month supply of inventory is probably the ticker tape. This is probably the telltale sign of where we're at in the market. What's the health of the market? How fast is the market going to go? We're down 40.6%. We're down to 1.9 months of inventory. Last year we were at 3.2 months. We have been in this category of about less than 2 months of inventory for a number of months now. So even if we have prices increase, even if we have interest rates increase, we still have, let's just say we have 5 to 6 buyers for every home in some of these price points. Maybe now we only have 3 or 4. So it's not like they're going to sit vacant and they're not going to get shown.
When are we going to see inventory increasing? I saw the double I's and it was like, Tony, when's that going to happen?
Yeah, you know, I guess we'll see what happens over the next 12 months or so. But at this point, because the inventories are so low, and I know the other thing too, I will say is that the builders and developers have been doing their best to keep up with, you know, they're in a really good position right now because they're filling a niche in the marketplace that because of lack of inventory, anything that they build, I mean, it's like the line from Field of Dreams, if you build it, they'll come. Absolutely. I mean, now it's just a matter of, and they're under pressure because of labor, materials, but they're doing their best to try to keep up. And I think it'll be really interesting to see the parade of homes coming up this weekend.
These numbers are all Sioux Falls area, correct?
It's our MLS. It's
All
our
right.
Realtors Association of Sioux Empire, which encompasses about a 50-mile radius.
If
of Sioux
we were
Falls.
talking East Coast or West Coast, those numbers would be even more dramatic, correct?
I was just speaking with someone from California. I have a client that I'm working with. They said that they are seeing offers coming in at anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000 over list price. But of course, it's relative because now you have homes that, their entry level homes out there are $1 million. In some, like I think they lived in Santa Barbara. So it's just relative. It's all perspective. But I think our Realtors Association in the Sioux Empire tracks pretty closely with one of the national numbers. We're not out of the norm, and we're not setting the trend. It's just this is the market of real estate throughout the board. Yes, you can find some outliers here and there, but for the most part, we're all in this marketplace.
All right, Ann, we're going to keep you here.
All right.
The people with the Home Builders Association say, we got 2 weeks of Parade of Homes coming up. I'm hearing as well from Dave Kelly and also from Brent Adney, we need more time to talk about what's going on. You're out of time, Tony.
We need a 3-hour show, Bill.